So I made two decisions this week. Number one was to cut off my hair because it was getting annoying. And number two, it's to rename the series from This Week in AUCS to Last Week in AUCS. The premise for this was because sometimes my Sundays were getting a little bit too crowded and I found that I was only starting to really record the video at around 5 PM, especially when there's an ODC on. So I thought, why not just spend a little bit of more time editing it later in the evening and release it on Monday. So that's what I've decided to do. The videos will now come out on Monday just before any Counter-Strike is played for the week. So when you go to watch Counter-Strike for the week, you'll have a refresh of what happened in the previous week. As always, let's start off with the MDL. So for this week of MDL, we first saw Justice take on Forbidden. Dust 2 was the map, 16-5 to Justice. Mako demolished PC419 over on Nuke, 16-6, and then Justice are back, this time taking on Fury, though Fury have forfeited the whole season, so it's a default over Justice. A very close one between Overt and Skyfire on Vertigo did see 14-14, but then Skyfire just getting ahead to win 16-14. Another pretty quick one, this time over on Mirage, it was 16-5 in favor of Incept over ESEA Open. And lastly, for this section, a big highlighted match, Order vs Avant on Nuke, 16-11. It was close in the beginning, time and time again, but then Order, they just shot on through to take the victory in this one. Truckers with Attitude steamrolled Forbidden, 16-3 on Mirage. And a back-to-back match for Order after that Avant one saw them take on Paradox on Train. An interesting peak to come out from Paradox, but 16-7 in favor of Order. ESEA Open, back again, this time against Avant, 16-5 in favor of Avant over on Nuke. Back-to-back Nuke, this time it's Order's third match for the night, taking on PC419, 16-2 is very unfortunate for PC419. A new founded Ground Zero does see 16-4 over Incept, this time played on Dust 2, and then to back that up afterwards, 16-6 over the Truckers with Attitude on Inferno. This is the Ground Zero that we were waiting to see in the previous installments of this video. So moving on into the ladder, as always, we're going to take this with a little bit of grain of salt because the teams do play some matches during the week, some teams don't play a match during the week, like we saw happen this week, especially for Bants, right? So in the installment for last week's ladder, Bants were on top, then Rooster, then ECA Open, Chiefs, Avant, Order, Paradox, Incept. So the shake-up for this week does put Order on top, then Bants, they didn't play any matches this week, so they don't really fall down that much. Order just get on top of them. Ground Zero shooting up into the top 8. Then the Truckers, Avant, they are still stable. Rooster, Chiefs, and Skyfire also in the top 8. So before we finish off for the MDL this week, there are a couple of clips that I actually wanted to showcase to you guys, one of which drawn from the Overt versus Skyfire match. Now, I mentioned that this game went back and forth. It was very close time and time again in the game, but when it got 14-14, unfortunately for Overt, they kind of played themselves. Roll the clip. So as you can see in this clip here, Skyfire, they are just holding true over at the B site, while Overt, they're all kind of rotating through towards A. Now, the thing that got me in this round for Overt is they took a very long time to get into the A bomb site, and you can just see the one-man member in Chubb pushing through, getting all the information that Overt's going to be going over towards A. Now, that's 25 seconds on the clock before Overt started to go out to the A side. Now, since they are putting down all this utility, it's easy information for Skyfire to have all their members over at this site. The flank comes out from Chubb. It only finds one because Tot did go very well on the side itself, but it just falls apart for Overt in that round. And as I did say, they kind of played themselves. They just waited way too long, giving no information over at B. An easy flank to come through, an easy read for Skyfire, and almost the game-winning round just straight there. Overt's last round, they just rushed A yet again, and they ended up losing it out. So Skyfire, 16-14, Overt, maybe back to the drawing board on that one. So that'll conclude MDL for this week, and just like last week, we will move back over to the ANZ Champs. It's gonna be the second qualifier. Only one team will make it through. So the three teams that got into the finals area of the ANZ Champs Open Quals Split 2 for Season 11 is Generation of Miracles, Skyfire, and Overt. Now, Generation of Miracles is kind of a put-together team. It's Nos, Plix, Juices, Floor, and JJ. Now, the first game did see Skyfire take on the Generation of Miracles. This was in that upper bracket section. Skyfire ended up winning it 2-0, 16-12 on Overpass, and 19-16 on Vertigo. Map number 3, Inferno, not needing to be played. So Skyfire, they book it into the grand final with a 1 map advantage. Of course, that does mean that Overt is going to be the opponents of GOM, or GOM, as we're all kind of calling them in this one. It is the question marks team in GOM winning out 16-11 on Inferno and 16-4 in Train. Now, just like last week, Overt, they get into the sort of lower bracket final, and they unfortunately do lose it out as well. So, into the final, where only one team can make it through. Skyfire with the map advantage. They do take that over GOM, so 1-0 up. Vertigo, the choice of Skyfire, goes over to GOM, 16-11. Bit of a funny play to come through from Nos, and then a questionable play to come through Juices. Not really, it's kind of a questionable thought on Skyfire's side. We'll see that in a moment. But to finish it off on Mirage, GOM, 16-13, so they will be booking their entry into Season 11 of ANZ Champs. The thing is, though, JJ got 44 frags in regulation. That's just absurd. That's very big. As I said, we get a clip, Nos and Juices. This is what they did.
Oh my god. Nos. Chops has got absolutely nothing with the Deagle on the flank there. Not sure what the hell that was. And this round, an important round like this, is just seems to be a comedy of errors. I think Dirty's about to be one step ahead of them here with the AUG. That's the bomb going down. They're just going to continue holding W onto the side. How has Juices hit both of those AK shots? What?
So with all of the matches done for the ANZ Champs, these are the teams that we will be seeing go through. So in the invited section, Renegades, Avant, Order, Ground Zero, and the Truckers with Attitude. Those are the 5 teams, as I said, invited. And then the qualified teams is Rooster and Paradox from last week's series. And from this week's, it is GOM, Generation of Miracles. So we'll have to stay tuned until this is all played out, because the way that they're playing it out is very interesting. We'll touch upon that when the series happens. So, to finish things up, we do have a little bit more on the news segment. Licky has been brought into Ground Zero after we did see Void depart last week. And also, there's a stir up in the Chiefs. We do see the departure of Skull Hunter, Maker, and Jinx as they go to turn over a new leaf. Some of them actually leaving Counter-Strike, and some of them looking for a new team. So we'll track what they're doing, and we'll see how they're going to turn out in the following weeks. But that is going to be it for this week's episode, guys. It's going to be Monday today. I don't think there's any Counter-Strike actually being played today, but I'll see you guys next Monday for the next installment. There's going to be more MDL on the cards, and we have to kind of wait it out and see if there's anything else played this week as well. Next week, it's currently Sunday. Anywho, I'll catch you guys in the next one.